Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first video of its type. If you notice when I upload videos, they're always about what I'm doing or where I am or some interesting people or persons that I met. But today is something a little bit different. It's going to be raw and unedited. About 10 minutes, I'm going to give you all of the craziness. Let me say the crazy shit that's happened to me over the course of the last 2 to 3 weeks here in Trinidad. I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Anything that you heard anywhere else in the world, including major media outlets, if you heard anything different, they're lying. Okay, we'll keep it at that. About 3 months ago, I was here in a beautiful country of Trinidad and Tobago, and I created, I documented, I filmed some videos that some would say are controversial. Okay, I went into some rough neighborhoods that are what some would consider no-go zones, places that regular folks just don't go. And I filmed them. And along the way, I was able to film and understand a little bit better what goes on in those neighborhoods. Now, some of those videos show people with guns. Some people have masks, some don't. I want to be very clear. Nothing was pre-planned. I walk into these communities. I never, okay, let me say that again. Never. I never pre-plan this, meaning I don't tell people in the video what to say. I don't pay them for their time. This is not acting. This is real life. I walk and talk in the communities and film what I see. Simple. Now, I got in trouble because of the controversial nature of my videos. Guns are controversial, especially in a country that is number 3 in the world for murder rate per capita. There's a real problem in Trinidad, and murder is at the top of the list of violent crimes here. So this Canadian YouTuber comes into a country for the first time, myself, speaking in third person, and documents some of the harshest reality that most people want to avoid and people want to hide from, including politicians, government officials, and let's just be honest, a lot of people don't want the world to know what's happening in Trinidad. Now, when I pick up a newspaper, including today or yesterday, there's 3 murders on the front cover. Yesterday, 5 murders. Last week, within 24 hours, there were 7 murders here in Trinidad. So there's no secret that crime is an issue, but somebody was rubbed in a negative way when an outsider came and, I don't want to say showcased, let's say documented some of the problems for the world to see. Again, I didn't come to Trinidad with any agenda, which some people suggest. I'm definitely not a CIA or FBI, as some other people have suggested. I'm a curious man that likes to travel. This is my country 128, and I came here just walking down the street on my first day, and I came across Duncan and got my first glimpse at what gang life in these type of neighborhoods is like. I hit record, I film. It's actually quite simple what I do. But along the way, while uploading videos, not all which were gang related, I had great enjoyment filming the steel pan bands and going to Point Fortin and eating doubles and going fishing and all that type of stuff as well. Although those videos don't get quite as much attention. Somewhere along the way, I rubbed somebody wrong, and I woke up one morning being detained, okay, where there was a warrant for my arrest, and all my items were seized. I was brought to the police station and questioned for 2 days. Initially, the warrant had words on it like gang promotion, gang profiting from a gang, I think was one of them, working without a permit, and there was one other charge, all related to gangs. Okay, that's what I was questioned for 2 days. After the 2 days, and let me be upfront, I answered every question they had. I have nothing to hide. And I don't know the inner workings of any gang. Okay, when I walk into a neighborhood and I film, the last thing that these people do is tell me their name and address and exactly how they're coming up with money. Let's be smarter than that. I'm a stranger to the community. I was questioned. Obviously, there was no evidence to me being in a gang or profiting from a gang, so those charges were dropped. But it was not time to celebrate yet. The charge of sedition was thrown my way. Okay, sedition is what some would consider a colonial law, meaning it was written almost double, like over 100 years ago. Trinidad is 60 something years old now, in this law is from over 100 years. So this law was written way before cameras, video cameras even, were invented. But the charge of sedition had to do with me publishing content that would like stir up the community to like create rioting and such. I don't have the exact definition, so if you'd like to find out what sedition is, you could just Google sedition. I was charged with that and put into jail, not jail, a holding cell in the basement or the back of a prison on Besson Street, which is St. Paul in Port of Spain. After 7 days, I was released out on bail, 100,000 TT. I had conditions. I had to stay at a certain location. My surety was Mr. CJ, a very good friend that you saw in the beginning of today's video. And I had to sign in once a week at the police station. I was not allowed to leave. And the Trinidad and Tobago High Court retained my passport. Now, this was my first trip to Trinidad. The support I was getting every step along the way from people in the community, people in the country, was just incredible. What more can I say? Never in a million years did I think my articles or my picture would be in newspapers. This was all brand new to me. I'm a man that has traveled the world. I've gone places like Afghanistan and Haiti and Ukraine war and Iraq and Lebanon, and basically I'm the danger traveler, all right? But I've never gotten the notoriety that I've gotten here, and the love. Let's be honest, it's a love-hate relationship, and CJ coined it, I'm the enemy of the state. So let's jump forward now. I finally was able to retain my passport, but part of my bail condition said I would have to return for my next court appearance. That was on August 23rd. So I went home to Canada. I also went to Cuba on vacation. I continue to live my life and film my videos around the world. Now I came back around the 18th of August for my court appearance. That was the 23rd. Now on the 22nd, I had to now submit. Do you mind getting that paper that CJ has? On the 22nd, I had to submit my passport to the high courts once again, because I had to follow the instructions of my bail conditions. Once that passport has been given, I'm restricted to not leaving the country again. That's actual and factual. And I'm going to tell you why I'm pressing upon that point. And I'm going to catch you up as to what is going on today, because I had court today. So this is my Canadian passport. This was taken away from me. I had to manually submit it to the High Court. Once that happened, I continued to film videos, and along the way, the police come to my house again with a new warrant. Okay, like a movie, SUVs, blacked out. I don't know what they call the masks that some kids wear nowadays, where it's just your eyes showing, literally like from a movie. And they had a new warrant, so they searched my house and seized all my equipment again. The new charge that they came up with is money laundering. And although the warrants said money laundering, during questioning they said I might have evidence of money laundering. But no, after 14 hours of interrogation with the anti-gang unit, they said no, there's no evidence of money laundering. I'll tell you why there was no evidence of money laundering, because I don't commit crimes. I'm in this country and I'm not a money launderer. I don't commit crime. And if I did, for example, come to a country to commit a crime, I would not be uploading to YouTube. I'd be as quiet and as secretive as humanly possible. I've become a pretty well-known person here and around Trinidad and the Caribbean. So it's just pure stupidity. But the document was signed, the warrant was issued, and I was under arrest. On the 14th hour, around 11 o'clock at night, I was released myself. Charges were dropped, although my items were kept. I went home to relax at CJ's house, stressed out, but to relax, only to see the next day the police came again, SUVs again, with another warrant to arrest me. I was handcuffed. Nobody told me what my charge was. They simply said, you're going to be deported. There was a document that said deportation. No reasoning. No like deportation because of A, B, and C, just deportation. So I was brought to IDC, which is a detention center for immigrants. And let's say most there were Venezuelan, although I met a Haitian and two Jamaicans. I was not physically thrown. I was treated very well. I was put in solitary confinement, which some would consider, the hole. The hole is a dark place. And normally when new guests or inmates come to detention center, to ensure that they're not coming with any outdoor illness, you're housed separately for 10 days. So living conditions are worse than a movie. You know what I mean? Like toilet paper is very difficult to come across. Toilet doesn't flush, so there's a stockpile of your excrements. I don't know, whatever comes out of your bum. What else? So I was there for 3 days, and then my lawyers were able to get me out. Just so you understand how this works, I'm in the country not for as a tourist. And I want to back everything up I say, right? So here's my stamp into the country. Okay, August 18th. If you can see this is not tourist. There's a documentation that I'm here on official court matter. I have to be here. Okay, and I'm going to touch upon a few more questions or comments that I keep reading. I have to be here. I have no choice. I had to be here. So it doesn't make sense that they're trying to send me away from a country in which I'm here to get a fair trial for my charge of sedition. So normally in that circumstance, if they're going to put an arrest warrant for somebody, they check with the DPP to ensure that, hey, I can kick this guy or girl out of the country. Because with a deportation also comes a 3-year ban. So let's get this straight. You're trying to deport me from a country that you won't let me leave because you have my passport, and which that I'm only here because you made it a law for me to be here. So I have a deportation in front of me right now. Now, as of this morning, 9:30 in the morning, I had court. I showed up to court virtually. I got heard around 12:30. There's a long lineup of people before me, and because I'm fighting this myself, so that I fall to the back. Now, my 3 requests in court today were, first and foremost, please, can I get my passport back so I can leave this beautiful country? Yes, granted, today. And factual, right? Because we're going to touch about this. There's a gentleman here named Mr. Hines, Fitzgerald Hines, that keeps spreading falsities. I think he's just making simple mistakes. I think he's probably a really nice man, but he continues to spread false information. So if we look at the bottom of this document right here, you'll see that it is here, I'm reading it backwards, it is hereby ordered that the bail application for variation is granted. The bail order, look, number 1, the applicant's passport is to be returned. Are you looking at this? Returned. This is today's date. No, that's not today's date, but this part is today's date. They also allowed me on my next appearance to show up virtually. So on January 14th, I don't have to come back to Trinidad. I can show up virtually. Now, that gets you a little bit caught up as to right now, this very moment. So I should be on an airplane because I got my passport in my hand. It's 4:17 on a Friday, but now we have a new problem. Because there is a deportation order against me, I am not allowed to leave the country, even though I have this passport. As of right now, I have to wait for a new hearing, which is next Friday, the 20th, with immigration. And at that point, I can ask to leave Trinidad and Tobago. That's where we're at. We're going to try to get a shortcut, and I'm going to try to email the immigration and say, look, please, I might even get on my knees and say, please, I have my passport now. Am I able to leave? But the response, it's the weekend now. I'm not going to get a response for a few days. So as of right now, I have my passport, but I'm still not allowed to leave. Now, my personal pet peeve, and you know what I find funny, for lack of a better term, it seems like every single person in my comment section on my videos has a law degree, because everybody has advice. I have people telling me, well, Chris, you should have just listened to me in the first place. So let's go over a few things that are really pissing me off, okay? Number one, I cannot leave Trinidad. Let me read something. Mr. Fitzgerald Hines, for those that don't know, he is the head of national security here in the beautiful Trinidad and Tobago. He was interviewed 48 hours ago, and I want to read a quote, and then I just want to make small corrections for Mr. Hines. Mr. Hines, if you're watching this or any of your people are watching this, I'd love to welcome you to help create peace in your beautiful country. Let's use my platform. Let's talk together. I want to feature you. I featured Mr. G. What do we call him? Top G. Gary Griffith. I'll give you equal opportunity if you like. First thing that happened. Let me read the exact quote just to ensure that there's no misrepresentation of what Mr. Hines said. This was an interview that he had in the media. So I'm reading from this. I'll read it exactly as it sits. It said, asked about Hughes' third arrest while at the Hyatt Regency in Port of Spain for a conference, Hines said he does not arrest people, although he wished he could. So the first thing he said, he's not involved. He has no capability of arresting people, which, although might be factually true, like he's not the man that drove the vehicle, the SUV, up to the car, to the house, and put the handcuffs around me. He didn't do that, but what he did is he started. This is my actual warrant, and his signature right there, the Minister of National Security. That's my warrant. So it was him that had me arrested and put in the detention center. So when he said he had no involvement in the arrest, and although he wished he could, naughty, that's not factual. We would expect people of authority to remain honest all the time, because if you make a mistake, the media and in the public in general might paint a different picture of me. They might really believe you. Let's go on a little bit further. Okay, this is, again, the exact quote from Mr. Hines. I'm advised that Chris List was charged for seditious activity some time ago. I am advised that he has returned recently to appear in court with respects to the matter, and I am advised that having done so, he did not depart Trinidad and Tobago to his homeland, Canada, but decided to stay in Trinidad and Tobago and continued to make the videos of a nature that were complained of previously. And therefore, the police, operating in the protection of the people of Trinidad and Tobago, have acted in collaboration with the Immigration Division, and the law of Trinidad and Tobago are in operation in those regards, the National Security Minister said. Naughty. Okay, first, I did not choose to stay in Trinidad and Tobago instead of going home because, Mr. Hines, you might have forgot, I just got my passport today. Look, today's date. Where's today's date? Somewhere here, it's got to be a stamp, today's date. What's today's date? Do we know? The 13th. Look at the stamp. Okay? So I got my passport today, Mr. Hines. Look, today. Therefore, Mr. Hines, I could not have left. Now, you said that I stayed to film videos. It's been 11 days since I filmed a video. I chose not to film videos during this because I didn't want to keep going to jail. Now, you also touched upon that I continue to film videos that were like not, well, the exact wording was like the same type of videos that got me in trouble. Look, Mr. Hines, there's rules, there's opinions, and there's laws. There's no law in Trinidad that says I cannot go into a no-go zone and film. If there were a law, then I would understand that I'm breaking it. But I'm not breaking a law because that doesn't exist. So your personal opinion about my videos means nothing to me. I really don't care if you like my videos or not. Now, if I'm breaking a law, different. But I'm not. So, Mr. Hines, not factual. None of that is factual. Now, for those, and I'm going to conclude very soon, for those people that said, Chris, why? You're so stupid. I told you don't return to Trinidad. There's nothing they can do. Okay, there's lots they can do. First and foremost, I'm a man that believes in accountability. And I also believe in the judicial system. If I did something wrong, I'm going to fight it. I'm going to be loud. If you can't notice, I don't sit in the corner and shut up. I'm loud and I'm proud of everything that I've done. I feel like I'm 100% innocent and I will fight this till the end, period. I'm not a runner. I don't run from problems. I deal with them, first and foremost. Second, if I decided, I'm not deciding, let me be clear, if I decided I was going to run from this, which I'm not, again, to be clear, I would be arrested. Canada has an extradition treaty with Trinidad. You can call the Canadian embassy in whatever country you want. I would be arrested and extradited for missing court. I would have to serve out a 2-year sentence. Okay? Period. I'm a world traveler, if you haven't noticed. So can you imagine on my record if I had a 2-year sentence for sedition or a deportation order? So I'm not going to run from the problem. What are you suggesting? I go to the desert somewhere and live out the rest of my life in hiding? So all of you internet lawyers that keep suggesting this stuff, it is ridiculous. I understand the entertainment value of this, but the human aspect, the human value is I'm going through the most difficult time of my life. I've been arrested 4 times. Now, had I done something wrong, then I deserve everything coming to me. With the amount of crime that's happening in Trinidad and Tobago, I feel like the taxpayers' money could be going towards like actually getting the criminals, getting the murderers, getting the robbers, getting anybody that's committing a crime off the street. But when I'm arrested, even for a real bogus charges like money laundering, understand that the 15 people that came to arrest me and then the 2 people that questioned me in a room full of 10 other police officers that are there, they could be using their time a lot more wisely. I'm going to conclude with this. I have no ill feeling towards anybody in Trinidad, and I love the country. I jokingly said, if you're going to lock me up in a country, I'm glad it's Trinidad, only because the people have been so supportive, kind, and nice. I'm anxiously anticipating going home, and I hope that happens this week without any further arrests and problems, period. I'm going to continue to upload content, but where have I been the last 10 days? Well, I've been in jail, I've been in questioning, I've had all my content equipment removed, taken. I've been held hostage in this country, and no, I'm not here for views. I'm here for official court matters. Now, that's all factual. I'll leave you with this. For the people that said, Chris, don't you learn your lesson? I am 100% confident this video will remain up. I will be found innocent in all court matters, and not only will I be found innocent, I will be suing this country. That was not my intention at first when I entered to Trinidad, but the association with my name to such charges as gang-related charges or money laundering, simply because I'm a journalist that documented the reality of a country. You know what? One gentleman said it best when he sent me the video. Mr. Bacher's son, he said, when you look in the mirror, if you're unhappy with what you see, do you break the mirror or do you fix yourself? I'm the mirror. I'm the messenger. Okay, don't kill the messenger. Fix the problems at home. I'll leave it with that. It's Christmas list. I love you all. I'm confident that you will see a lot more of me, not only in Trinidad and Tobago, but all over the world. I appreciate all the support. For those that disagree and think I have some hidden agenda, I love you too. You need a hug as well. Everything is right in front of you, clear as day. Now let's get back to regular type content. I'll see you guys soon. I love you. Bye from Trinidad.